So,
You're waiting.
Luca,
Oh,
Luca,
okay.
you're back. You're back.
I am back
Yeah,
for a
well,
second
we had to
episode.
bring you back for some more waffle. So,
Love that, love that.
the topic today, social media.
Wow.
Wow, exactly. Something that it's become a very large thing in society, very influential thing.
Yeah,
All the
yeah.
different like companies that fall within the social media world are all very influential companies. Of course, I've come with some facts. 4.7 billion people use some form of social media on a day-to-day basis.
Wow. What
Yes,
what what classes are social media in that kind of statistic
I
there?
mean, I think it was just like all the ones you'd expect, but then I think it includes
Yeah,
like
yeah,
messages and all of that sort of stuff.
yeah. Okay, okay.
But so sort of just delving straight into it. Misinformation on social media.
Yeah,
So because of like the influence that these companies have, or like some people on the platforms have, fake news has become a thing. So it's basically where like anyone, but pretty much if you write something on like I don't know Photoshop and put it in some fancy font, anyone will believe anything.
yeah.
True. It's true. It's true. It's true.
It is true. It's
So
true.
what do you think about how almost like how susceptible people have become to just anything they read and just believing anything they read?
I think I think it is quite easy because I think we have like a natural instinct to kind of just trust sort of
Trust just
because
whatever people say.
yeah, I think we have this kind of an instinct, and I think there's this big thing with social media of like following the crowd in a sense,
Yeah,
and kind of going with like with trends and stuff like that. And so if
yeah.
everyone kind of believes in some like misinformation of some kind,
It's sort of like
then
you don't want to be the odd one out.
exactly. And then I think a big issue with it is that because obviously social media companies can like control their platform,
Yeah.
they can push certain political agendas that they may have and stuff. You see what I
You
mean?
you literally take the words out of my mouth, Ika. That was literally the next point I'd written down. So I thought of an example about it. So like
Yeah.
the whole like presidential election thing in America,
Yeah,
where
yeah, yeah.
Trump said that Twitter had like I didn't even know the full story of it to be honest, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
So they're obviously these real world events, like the very very large influence over real world events
Hmm.
that you can like realistic. So if some I don't know, so say there are two political candidates going against each other, and they both
Yeah.
both like tweet something that
Yeah.
you laugh, you laughing at my
I'm not.
inability
I'm
to
not.
speak.
I'm
Oh,
not.
okay,
I'm not. I'm
okay,
not. I'm
okay,
not.
okay.
I'm
They
not.
both tweet something that's like vital to their election campaign,
Uh
and
huh.
some like software engineer at Twitter decides, oh, I like her more than him, or something like that, and then they're
Mm.
like, oh, well, we'll give them some more advertising. So someone that you've never met before, the people.
Sorry, I was trying to move the lamp, but I accidentally turned it off because it's like a touch lamp. So
Oh,
like,
there. Oh, The people probably have never met before can have such like a large influence over a real world event.
uh huh.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, I don't think that's. I don't think that's fair. But the thing is, I think with social media, the whole point is to keep you on it longer,
That
because
is
then you're
true.
gonna, because effectively with social media, you're the product.
You
Because
are
the
the
ad,
product.
because it's free, so the advertisers are the ones paying for it,
Well, yeah,
and so they benefit from you staying on there longer because you're exposed to more ads, right?
yeah.
And and so because of that, I've completely wait. Where was I even going with this? No. Okay, no. Yeah, they want to keep you on there longest, and so they're going to show you what you want to see.
Yeah,
So I think it leads to this loophole where if you follow like a kind of certain political ideology, to keep you more engaged,
yeah,
they can show you that kind of stuff more and more, or even show you stuff that you don't like,
yeah.
but because it gets you like kind of heated
Because it
and you're
gets you
like,
like
how is
worked up,
this?
and then you're gonna like read the
Yeah,
next
yeah,
thing. Yeah,
yeah, and you want to keep on going it to kind of try and in your mind disprove some
yeah,
random guy like other side of the world who disagrees with you.
yeah.
And so I think kind of extremism can be pushed by social media
That
in
is
that
true.
way because it yeah the whole benefit is to keep you on there for as long as possible
Well, yeah.
and
That
yeah.
is. just as a general rule, is the point of social media product advertising?
Yeah.
Do you think? You think it is?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, I'm not. I don't know if it. I don't think it's set out to be that.
Do you not think?
No, like when I watched a movie on Mark Zuckerberg, him creating Facebook. It
Oh,
originally started.
the social network.
Yeah, the social network. Yeah. So, is that a good movie?
It is good. It is
Yeah,
good.
it is actually good. So his like original idea of Facebook was for people on his like college campus to
Yeah. No. Yeah.
connect
I
with
know.
each
Yeah.
other.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I think, but then obviously like he can't make money off of that, so he had to commercialize it somewhat.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, and then, well, yeah, as you said, the users have become the product.
Hmm.
So with that, do you think? I mean, it's been proven many times, but do you think that these companies create like social profiles of people?
Yeah. I think you in real life
Yeah,
and you on social media are two different things.
it is a very different thing. Yeah,
You can kind of create who you want to be in a
yeah,
sense, and I think that can lead to kind of like feelings of like FOMO and stuff,
yeah.
because obviously people don't show the kind of like the negative aspects of their life.
That like they're living a sort of fake life,
Exactly. I
almost
think
sort of
that
thing.
that is very much like what social media is
Yeah,
it's kind of people just showing, yeah, and then
emphasizing the
even
good things.
exactly, and even like with pictures and stuff, like Photoshop exists,
Exactly. Yeah, that's
and
true.
like people pick the best picture that they take,
Yeah,
and so I think social media is not really an accurate representation of who people are.
I think
It's
that's
just an
true. Yeah,
accurate, yeah, I think it's more of a representation of who they want to be than who they
yeah.
actually are.
Then actually who they are. Yeah. So sort of
Mm.
on that point, a lot of like, I read about some studies about that whole sort of idea.
Uh-huh.
The like people consuming fake artificial content and like artificial views of people. Like so these like big celebrity models and everything. Like they don't look as celebrity model as they do like on a day to day basis, or they don't live these
Yeah.
sort of like mad lifestyles, and it can lead to like all sorts of stuff like body dysmorphia, depression, like anxiety, all this
Good
like
word.
stuff. Thank you very much. Particularly in young people as well, because
Yeah.
I mean I
A
think we
more kind
sort
of impressionable audiences.
yeah I mean I think we sort of
Yeah.
spoke about that last time as well. So
Hmm.
do you think? Well, I mean I was going to say do you think it's right, but probably not.
No,
I mean yeah,
I
that's
don't
sort of
think that's
obvious, isn't
right.
it?
No.
I mean no, but what can people do about it? Like now that it's happened, it's very hard to sort of just say no. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. What, saying no to like social media in general?
We sort of, but yeah, but no, it's in like, so if someone makes a filter or something like that that
Uh-huh.
makes you look better, suddenly everyone's going to be like using this filter, and then there's going to be a new filter
Mm.
that makes you look even better and even better, and
Yeah,
like the
yeah.
sort of domino effect of always wanting to be better than the last person. Like
Yeah.
now that it has started, that you can't really stop it.
No, yeah, I think that's quite difficult to to stop because again, like in this idea that everyone's using this filter that makes them look better,
Yeah,
that means if you're not using that filter,
you're going to be the
you're
opposite.
going to look this many times worse. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And I think, yeah, again, that's a big thing with social media. Like we said earlier, is this kind of thing of being the odd one out.
yeah,
Is because we have this like natural instinct to kind of be to, in a sense, like follow the crowd, I guess, because
yeah.
that's kind of with humans. That's
It's just what you
that's
feel
how we
comfortable doing.
became.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, yeah. This how humans have become like the most dominant species is from like
yeah,
coming together and building like communities and like I don't know, building like tribes and villages and stuff, and then
yeah,
from that kind of being safer in larger numbers.
yeah,
And so I think that feeling of being left out because it's this kind of evolutionary instinct is so big, and that's the thing with
yeah.
social media is I think it plays upon like kind of just what it means to be human at its
That's
core. Is it
yeah.
plays on that instinct uh, very much.
I mean, the thing is, like with that, people that well, yeah, people that like feel the odd ones out. Like there's
Hmm.
all the sort of thing like with cyberbullying and everything. Like
Yeah, yeah,
it doesn't just affect them as like an online person. Like once it does like
Yeah.
everything that social media does, and like the negative sides of it, they all translate into real world events again.
Yeah, exactly.
So Be Real is sort of
Be real.
the latest trend at the moment.
Yeah.
Do you know what it is?
I do. I had it, but then I did like one Be Real. No, I had it, and then I deleted it. Then I re-downloaded it, and then I did one Be Real, and then I deleted it again because
Alright.
it was
So
just,
for the
it's a bit boring.
I don't actually have it, but from my extensive research for the audio listeners, it's basically an app where, and correct me if I'm wrong because I don't actually really know.
Okay.
At a certain point at every day, it like tells you need to post. So you only post like once a day,
Mm-hmm.
and then it
Yeah.
takes like a picture with the front of your camera and the back of your camera, so it gets like
Yeah.
both angles of what you're doing, and like no filters, no like Photoshop. It's just like
Yeah.
raw, authentic where you
You
are at
can't
that
take
time.
you can't take multiple pictures either.
You just so you just take this one picture where you are, and of you, like, and then people can like react to it with one picture as well or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. People can react to it. People can share
So
reactions and
yeah,
stuff like that.
and there's no like of the advertising or anything like that on there. It's just genuine. I mean, I don't know how they're going to make it, or if they do make it profitable, how they make it profitable.
Yeah.
But for
I
the
think
moment, it is sort of the anti social media
anti-social
platform.
media.
So that was a bit of a tongue twister.
Yeah.
So I can't remember where I was going with this, but oh yeah, right. Do you think that's the future of social media?
What, Be Real?
Yes. Well, do you know like the general principle of BeReal, just having this like, just like cutting back everything that's happened. So there's a domino effect of being
Yeah.
like the prettiest or all of that. At some point, has to get to somewhere where it can't go any further. So do you think
Yeah,
we'll just like suddenly move to this new platform?
I don't think it is.
You
Because
don't
I
think it
think,
is?
because the big thing with Be Real is there's no kind of explore feature. Well, there is,
Yeah.
but it's like, what are you really seeing when you're seeing that? You're just seeing like some random person just sitting there that you, you don't know. So it has no interest to you. So I think once you're done kind of scrolling and looking through your friends' Be Reals,
Yeah.
it's kind of done. There's no, like with Instagram and TikTok, there's a kind of endless scrolling.
Yeah, like you can just go on forever, effectively.
You can just go on forever and there's just more and more and more content. But
Yeah.
with BeReal, there's not as much substance to it, and so I don't think BeReal is going to be around for that much longer. I think I
Yeah.
can see it dying out in the
I feel
next
sort of the same
6
thing. I
months
think
to a year.
I think B-roll sort of literally is a trend. Like people are taking photos on B-reel and then putting them on these other social media platforms just because it is like. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's because it is sort of the trend.
I can see a lot of TikToks about BeReal,
Yeah, and so
about like when you're on the toilet and you have to take a BeReal,
thanks, Luca.
which I can't imagine would be a great.
Which did you have to take it at the like exact time?
You kind of do. And that's another thing as well, which I think is like kind of takes away from the anti-social media aspect of it. Is it like
Yeah.
you have to take it at this certain time, like you have to be on your phone at this time, and I think that kind of takes away from it.
I mean, you're
So it
sort of
is in a
saying,
sense, but it's
but
but
trying
at the
to
same time there's that,
yeah, I know what you mean. So although they are being like the anti-social media, they sort of still are being like, what if you don't what if you don't want to take it at this time? What if you want to take it in 10 minutes because you're doing something that you don't want like everyone to see?
exactly 100%, exactly.
So it's sort
Or what if you don't have your phone on you? You know,
exactly, and then
what if you're in an
yeah,
important business meeting? You have
exactly,
to take your B-reel.
and then exactly you don't want to just whip out your phone and take a B-reel.
Yeah,
But
what if
then
you got a job interview?
yeah, so yeah, just yeah. To be honest, so then it does sort of it sort of begs the same question that where does that wanting to be better than everyone else end? Like when will it end? And what with? Do
I
you
don't
think?
think it does. I don't know if it does. I don't think there is necessarily a kind of. I think the only possible end to that is kind of just social media just dying, and I don't think that can really happen. I think now that
I
it's
mean,
here,
yeah, it's such an integrated like
and like even like I don't know if like social media gets for some reason got banned in a country, which like it
yeah,
wouldn't. But even if it did, like you can just have a VPN. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
You could just go on to another country,
But even
and you
just
can't.
like
Yeah,
now that it's here, it's not going to stop.
exactly. Yeah,
Sort of thing. Like back back in the good old days. Like if you wanted to meet up with your friends, you'd have to go like to their house, or do you know what I mean?
yeah.
And
You
now that
use like
there's all these
FaceTime now.
exactly like this podcast right now.
Literally.
Without social media, we would be sat in a room together, which is a pain. Like it is easier because we like
Yeah.
live like 30 minutes apart. Literally is easier for us to use social media than
Mm.
not to. But and sort of the thing with BeReal as well. It's the sort of the whole thing. Once you're on social media, like once everyone, say in theory, everyone had moved to BeReal,
Yeah.
then they make it profitable, and then they bring back all the ads, and no one's going to move back to
Mm.
whatever else because they're already there. So
Exactly. No one's moved back to Facebook. You know what I mean?
exactly. So I don't think it can't end because once one of these platforms die, like Facebook, the company, or Meta or whatever it is now,
Meta.
they own so many like of the other companies.
Yeah,
So
Facebook have like
yeah,
almost not. I wouldn't say a monopoly, but they have like
the market share.
massive. Yeah,
They own what
because
is it,
I know that
Instagram?
they own it. They own Instagram, WhatsApp, which I wouldn't class WhatsApp as a social media necessarily.
No, not
But
particularly.
but
It's
I say Facebook and Instagram are the two biggest like social medias in the
yeah,
sense that you
exactly.
kind
Yeah,
of like share your life. I'd say TikTok as well is big, but TikTok I'd say it's sort of a different category of
yeah.
social media because it's less of
I
like you take
feel
a picture of yourself and you
yeah,
upload it.
like I think the demographics different, but then
Mm.
Facebook is sort of like everyone, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Yeah. So, but yeah, so they own these companies. If one of them just dies out, they'll just put all their like effort and resources into another one,
exactly.
and then they're still in control of like everything that happens on them. It's just
Yeah, I think the control is an aspect because you can't have people.
it's
Cause if people speak out against sort of social, it's difficult to speak out against a social media company
it
on their
is because
platform
they're
because they can
so
just say like they can just
influential.
silence you. Yeah, and they
Exactly,
can
they can
just kind
just
of
yeah, they'll
yeah
just ban you or
deplatform you, ban you,
exactly,
whatever.
exactly.
And
So
I think that makes it a difficult thing to kind of speak up against because
yeah,
unless you go on like another social media platform. But like
yeah,
Instagram, you can't speak up against Instagram on Instagram, or even if you like, I don't know if you speak up against Instagram, but you have a profile or something,
yeah, exactly.
which like I guess is a bit hypocritical. But like, but
Yeah,
if you did that, and
yeah, I know what you
they
mean.
ban
Yeah,
your profile, yeah,
yeah, yeah,
because they have a lot of power. They're like multi-billion-dollar companies.
yeah, exactly. And they know everything about you. It's like
That's scary.
yeah, and this leads on to I watched another movie, which I can't remember
Ooh.
the name of, but it was about CIA in America or one of
Hmm.
the intelligence companies building up these like it did actually happen. It was a true story. Like 10 years ago,
Hmm.
they're building up these social profiles and like listening to your phones and looking at your
Hmm.
webcams and all this. Have you heard of this?
On the webcams, man.
Exactly, exactly. Do you know? Have you heard of the movie though?
I have not heard that movie. If you give me a name, then I might have
I
like
have
heard
no.
of
I
it, but I've not
cannot
seen
remember
it.
what it's. I can't remember what it's called. But yeah, basically, so they got found out. This someone that worked for the CIA, like
Yeah,
stole or like millions of people's information, and then like exposed the whole CIA. So,
yeah.
but the problem with it is, you have no idea if it's happening,
Yeah.
which is scary.
Yeah,
But
you don't know who holds your kind of personal data because when you go on like terms and conditions and stuff, it's so long,
exactly,
and
nobody
it's
read.
probably so
Yeah,
long for a purpose. It's probably so long
yeah.
so you don't read it,
Exactly, it's
and
so
so
long and like
yeah,
all the mixing up languages throughout it and all sorts.
yeah, you
It's
just scroll through it and you accept it, and it's like you
yeah,
basically accepted these kind of companies to like just take your data
exactly,
and to
exactly.
sell it, and like that's not you know that's not really good. And I think we've got this thing with where privacy is
Yeah,
becoming like so much harder to get. Like, have you seen
exactly. Yeah,
in China they have the like mass surveillance system that they're I don't know if they're
yeah.
still building it or if it's built, but they have like this
With
incredible
like the
thing where
face
it's like
scanning thing.
yeah they like
Yeah,
scan your
yeah,
faces, and I think that privacy is such a difficult thing now. And even like what's scary is I have a fear whenever I go to a hotel that the
there's a
previous
camera.
person there's a camera
Yeah, exactly.
in.
I thought about that as well. I saw some video on it, and
Yeah,
yeah, it
it's
is just it
scary.
is a scary thought. And then, well, that's the thing. Like, you sort of understand it if you're online. You're like, oh, well, there might be like people like you want to be careful about what you say online and stuff like that,
Mm, mm.
and careful about what you do and stuff like that. But it's sort of getting to the point with not even just with social media, like apart like away from social media, in society where you can't even go outside in some
Yeah,
countries without them like knowing where you and like if you go drive in your car, they've got your number plate all scanned and stuff like that.
yeah,
Like it's very hard to get away from technology, sort of thing.
yeah. Exactly. I think technology in general is becoming so intertwined with all aspects of life in
Just
general, and
life, yeah,
that's another scary thing, which isn't social media, but like just AI in general, is the
yeah.
idea of what happens when we get to a point where businesses can just replace workers with like AI.
Well, yeah, society
Yeah,
effectively does become corrupt.
because that's way more profitable because you don't have to pay people
Mm.
like every month or so.
Yeah, you
You just have
buy
to
it
make a
once and then
one-time
it's there.
payment of yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
And the
So like
thing is,
I was
no,
yeah,
go.
okay. I was literally thinking today because I was watching a movie, and there was a truck driver in it, right? Because this guy
Yeah,
was hitchhiking,
yeah,
and I was thinking like in the future you could just have like these robot truck drivers,
yeah.
and that takes the jobs away of like millions of truck drivers around the globe.
Exactly.
You know what
Well,
I mean? And I think yeah, I think when you give AI such a kind of such power,
yeah.
once AI get to like this certain intelligence and realize like they don't need us, they have no need for us.
Yeah. I
That's
mean,
that's
it
not
is
it's not
scary as
looking
well.
good.
No, because companies
Yeah.
will go for it. Because like, if you buy, I don't know, a robot to,
Yeah.
well, yeah, let's say drive trucks, they can
Mhm.
drive for 24 hours a day, every single day,
Mhm.
without wearing out, being probably a lot safer, unfortunately, than drivers
Yeah.
because they don't get worn out or they just follow a strict code, which is like the highway code.
I mean, even have you seen those Amazon shops where they have like no
No
employees, like the
people.
physical
Yeah,
stores? Yeah, yeah, and you just kind of walk out and
yeah,
you hold it and it like scans it and like adds it to your
yeah,
basket
and
on
it
Amazon
works
or whatever.
perfectly as well. Like that's the scary thing.
Exactly.
Like you can take it off, put it back on the shelf, everything, and it actually works.
It's way more efficient. You don't have to like wait a
Yeah,
queue up at a till, and
yeah,
you know what I mean. You don't even have to whip your card out. It's
yeah.
literally as simple as just walk in, walk out, take something.
I mean, these
Boom.
people they don't try. I remember I watched some. Have you heard of like the Tesla AI robot thing?
I think I might have done.
Yeah, Elon Musk. He's building this. Yeah, it's literally a person. This AI
Yeah.
and his sort of like press conference. The press conference sales pitch. I can't speak tonight. His his press conference sales pitch is that these robots, like Tesla bot, maybe I think it might have been called, maybe
Tesla bot.
Tesla bot, it's very original, can replace repetitive and boring jobs from people.
Yeah.
And there are two sides to the argument with that sort of thing, because people don't want to do boring and repetitive jobs.
No.
But then, what do you do with the probably millions of
But
people?
people get paid for those boring and repetitive jobs.
Exactly. Like, what do you do with the like? There's already like not enough jobs in like literally every sector in the economy.
Yeah.
So what do you do when
Hmm.
there's like, we'll say I don't know in England there's like 10 million more people that now don't have jobs because all these
Yeah.
companies have decided to buy robots.
Mm.
What's, what's,
It's not a good thing, and I think, and
it's
even
not.
with there's some areas like one thing, another thing which could like easily be replaced
Yeah.
is like surgery, because with surgery you've got to be so precise with all these
Yeah.
different things, and it would be so much safer if you had robots.
They started doing it
Because
like and
yeah,
testing it and stuff, haven't they?
uh, probably I
I
don't
mean, I
know,
know. I think
especially
they have. Yeah.
especially with stuff like I don't know heart surgery and brain surgery, where you have to be like really really precise because
Yeah.
it's like really really big consequences. Using robots makes so much more practical sense, but then at the same time, how many
Mm.
people does that put out of jobs?
Well, yeah, and these are like, imagine. Well, not even imagine. Like, how much training and money do you have to invest to become a heart surgeon?
A lot,
Like,
because
I
you've
felt
got
like,
you've
yeah,
got to go to uni and
a
you've got
doctor's
yeah
degree is
exactly.
like long enough, and then you have to do like surgery
Hmm.
and then specialist surgery, and then So yeah, but then the flip side of it is a robot would probably be better and can like monitor all of the like I don't know vital signs in that like example can monitor all of the vital signs for itself and then reacts upon them like immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
so it is, but it is a fine line. But then
Yeah.
you lose like the personal touch. Because so I had an operation on my teeth, and like
Oh,
the
wow.
surgeon came out and like told me like what was happening, and it just feels a lot more like safe. They do that on purpose, so you don't feel worried going into it, and you think, oh, this person's got control.
Yeah, if you had some like weird robotic voice
Exactly, some just weird
saying
robot
the
being
same
like,
stuff to you, it
I'm
would
going
feel
to
so
cut you
alien.
open and perform open heart surgery on you. It's going to be a
Exactly.
bit weird, isn't it?
Whizzing around and like,
Exactly,
yeah.
exactly. So, yeah, and it could happen in our it probably will happen in our
In our
lifetime.
lifetimes.
Like
That's weird. How much different will our lives be when the end of our life when we're like 80 years old? How
exactly,
much different will the world around us
like
look?
it'll be
Because we're
so
progressing at such a fast rate. Because if you think
yeah.
like, I don't know, like grandparents or something,
Mm,
how different were their lives when they were younger compared to now? And then
exactly.
because now we're progressing even faster
Mm,
than then, it was gonna look so different. It's gonna be crazy.
yeah, think like in
Yeah,
like 90. Well, when did the iPhone get it? 2001. So think in
yeah,
2000, though, like no smartphones at all,
yeah,
or like barely any smartphones, and like think like
yeah. Now you got
smartphones
like these
are
like
used.
this is old now. This is an XR,
Well,
and
exactly,
this like look
yeah,
at that. It's thin. It's beautiful.
exactly. It's the idea. It's just complimenting your phone. Well done, Apple. For going to that. No, but it's sort of yeah. Technology moves so quickly now. Like
Yeah,
everything, like they're releasing two new iPhones a year.
yeah. Like this is an XR, and this is like flexing it again. No, not really. This
It's
is like
got
kind of
I have an XR.
this is like kind of old now.
Exactly.
Like when did the XR come out?
Probably not as long as
Like
you think ago.
I'm gonna look it up. Hold on.
Probably. Should I do a little guess? Let me do a little guess.
Oh my god!
I
By
say
the way, right?
yeah.
Random side note. You know what I found out is a real job today?
What's that?
Is a whale snot collector.
A whale snot collector.
A
What?
whale snot.
Whose job is
That
that? How do you
uh,
collect whale snot?
because that's when they blow stuff out of like the like top. That's actually snot. That's
Is
not
it?
like yeah. And
Oh,
basically they do it to like check up on the health of whales.
really?
Yeah, the iPhone XR came out on the 12th of September 2018.
Well, there
So
you go.
almost 4 years ago.
So almost 4 years ago, and it's
And like what are they on now? Like the iPhone 13?
the like
Or
announced the 14, I think.
yeah.
So yeah, yeah, it will happen in our lifetime. So maybe when we're like 70, we should do a follow up episode and see the difference, see what's going
We've
on.
gone a bit off topic, but
We
I
have gone
think it's
very off
another
topic.
episode.
So
Yeah, we
social
have
media,
definitely
social media.
back on social media.
Let me get some talking points up here, so we don't cyberbullying.
That's not great.
That's I said that in a very positive tone.
Cyberbullying. You said it really happy.
No, we're going into it in a positive outlook. So,
Yeah.
we did already touch on this, to be honest, but
Yeah.
the thing with people faking their lifestyles, and then let me give the example that like all the like social media people say is that there's like a female model who's like 35, and then there's these like 8-year-old girls looking up to her, thinking,
8?
yeah, look, think of how young like some people have social media. Let's just say the
I guess I feel like 8's a bit young though. 8's like year
there
3.
are children looking up to her
Okay.
and thinking, wow, she's so pretty, I want to be like her, all of that, and
Yeah.
then not being able to achieve that because they're like 12,
Yeah.
and then
You went from 8 to 12.
no,
Jumped up 4 years.
You said it was a bit young, so I was making it. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, what do you think? So I don't really feel like that's cyberbullying. I said cyberbullying, but
Yeah. That's
do you,
unrealistic body expectations and that.
exactly, yeah. But do you think people have forgotten how to It's just step away.
Yeah, it's hard to step away because they're
It is hard to
designed
step
to.
away.
It's designed to be addicting,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah,
And I think on that kind of wanting to look like that model, that
yeah.
like that model probably doesn't look like that model.
Exactly.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Because that picture has like they've picked the best lighting, the
The
best
best
angle,
angle. Exactly.
edited it a bit, done
Yeah.
some weird camera tricks and everything. They
Yeah. Yeah.
probably don't look like that in real life either, or they
Exactly.
almost definitely don't look like that in real life either.
Hmm.
So I think when you're kind of, especially when you're impressionable, when you're
Yeah.
at kind of like a young age and you kind of
Hmm.
think that is something you can achieve.
Yeah.
I
Like
think that
before
can
you
lead to stuff like,
understand how it,
yeah,
like that, everything like that has
yeah.
happened.
I think that leads to stuff like eating disorders and stuff
It
like
does.
that.
Yeah. It's a lot of like mental health stuff mixed into it.
Yeah, exactly. And so you're kind of you kind of make it your mission to look like this person, to look like
Yeah.
this unattainable image,
Yeah.
and so you kind of try harder and harder and harder to look
And
like this
then
person that in reality doesn't really exist.
yeah, and then you like get down on yourself because this person doesn't exist, and then like you can't
Yeah,
obtain. And then so
exactly.
yeah, sort of like moving back to cyberbullying because there just wasn't cyberbullying. The point I made. If you're if you're being bullied online,
Yeah.
so say like someone's bullying you for what someone you know in real life. Say there's someone at your school who's bullying you for something
Hmm.
that happened in real
Yeah.
life. Do you think getting away from bullying online is easier than getting away from like real life bullying?
No,
Do you know what I'm
I don't
trying to
know.
say?
I think, yeah. I think it's hard because the thing is like you can block someone, report someone, or whatever, but they
Yeah,
can make a new account. You know what I mean?
yeah, but
I think it's difficult to escape. And then another thing is even if it's not someone you know,
mm,
then it's anonymous.
yeah,
And so there's almost like there's no shame. And I think that's the thing is you can kind of hate on people as much as you want on social
it's
media,
true. Yeah,
Wait,
I mean,
because you're like anonymous and you're behind
yeah,
this screen. And I think that's dangerous because it means people can say some like people say some like really harmful stuff
yeah,
which can have like such a great effect on people. But
exactly.
then there's not going to be any consequences for it because
Mm,
like
no
you
one
know
knows who it is.
exactly.
But then I feel like the problem with it as well is, so say someone posts a picture, and then
Hmm.
some people they don't know see it, and then their friends see it, and their friends comment something that's like an inside joke, but to like anyone else, it would
Makes
seem
no
like
sense.
mean. So
Oh
say
yeah, oh
something
yeah.
that is mean, but it's an inside joke, and the person that's posted the pictures like understands it and they find it funny.
Hmm.
But then if these strangers see it and then they read it and they take it differently,
Hmm.
and then they comment something else, it's sort of a spiraling effect into well then this person's now being bullied.
Yeah, when in actuality they're just kind of like having a laugh with their friends.
Exactly. Yeah.
Is that what you're saying? Yeah.
Yeah. And can you not just turn your phone off? Sort of
I
thing.
mean, not really, because it's so addictive. Like turning your phone off and turning away from these like specific people is
Mm.
turning away from that app as a whole,
Yeah.
and that's not exactly the easiest
I
thing
mean, I find that such a
to
weird
do.
thing though. Like,
Do you think?
if you're being cyberbullied, just just put your phone down.
No, I guess, but
Do
like
you
at
know
the
what I'm
same
do you know what
time,
I'm trying to say? Like,
no, no,
I
no,
just
no, no. Yeah, 100%. But
yeah
at the
yeah
same, like, yeah, like again, the apps are like designed to be addictive, and putting your
yeah
phone down is yeah. And because maybe there's people I don't know you think you need to contact
yeah
on a social media,
yeah
so it's not as simple as just like, and I guess in some cases it is that simple, but
yeah.
you
It's
know.
just a weird idea, just sort of
But for
concept.
me, I set screen time limits for
Do
myself
you?
on apps. Yeah,
I mean, it's a good idea. Yeah. So
I do. But the thing is, I think with doing that is you kind of end up just opening those apps. You just continuously open them. You just don't look at them for a long
yeah
time. If you
yeah.
see what I mean.
Like you're
So
checking if anything's happened that's like worth your time.
yeah, and I wish on Apple there might be like maybe I'm just not technologically like advanced enough, but there
Yeah
was a limit. There was a limit to how many times you open the app instead of just how much time you spend on said
yeah
app.
yeah. I don't think there
You
is,
know?
but yeah.
Yeah, that's not fun.
I mean, sort of with the cyberbullying thing,
Uh-huh.
do you think that the companies? Well, you see, they go. The companies will like in the news. You'll see stuff like, "Oh, Twitter deleted Trump's tweet because it was offensive," or
Yeah.
stuff like that. Do you
Yeah.
think they regulate it on like like a low down basis, like just an everyday people basis, like few hundred like followers or whatever, just regular people? Do you
What do you
think
mean? I don't understand at
I don't know
all.
what I'm trying to say? So these
Okay.
famous big social media people,
Okay.
whoever. So
Yeah.
once
Big
you get enough
companies.
followers, you're gonna have like the spotlight on you. The company will become aware of you,
Yeah.
and you're effectively scrutinized by the company and just everyone else that follows you if you do something wrong.
Hmm.
But do you think that these social media companies give the same sort of scrutiny to just general people? So say someone with 100 followers tweets something like really racist.
Yeah.
Do you think they regulate it in the same sort of way?
No, definitely not. Because I remember, so a
No.
specific example was when England lost the Euros.
Mm.
I remember there was just like so many racist comments
Yeah.
and stuff like that, and then they're all from just kind of completely random people.
Yeah.
Like if you saw, like I don't know, some famous person in the comment, if you saw like Brad Pitt
Yeah.
being like, I don't know why Brad Pitt, just he's just
I'm
really
not sure
famous.
Brad Pitt would do that, to be honest. He seems like
I don't know.
quite a guy.
I like Brad Pitt. I like Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
But I think if you saw some kind of famous geezer in the comments, they're
I mean, it's almost
much more likely to
expected.
be. Yeah.
Like it's. But then this person, whoever it was, I know I remember who you're talking about. I don't really follow football though, so I don't know who the comments were directed towards. If they're
Yeah.
going on this post, like from England football, well, I don't know what I'm talking about, but whoever, their club or whatever, and they're reading through all
Yeah.
these comments, it's still going to have the same effect on them if
No,
it's
exactly. No, no
some
matter where.
massively
I
famous
mean,
guy
yeah.
or just some
I
random
guess
guy.
it would probably have more effect if it was like some famous guy. But
Yeah,
like
no,
at
but
this,
do
it
you know
does
what I
still
mean?
have like a massive effect if it is just
Exactly, and
around, and
especially
especially when
in
there's just so many.
the
When
volume
it's
as
just
well.
like
Exactly, yeah.
there's just you scroll down, there's like
Like they
more
just
and more,
keep, yeah,
and
and there's just
especially
thousands,
yeah.
yeah,
So with these racist comments as well,
yeah,
I don't follow football that much, but I follow enough to know who they were directed
yeah,
against. They were all directed against like pretty young players, like under
yeah,
25 ish, especially Saka, right?
yeah,
Saka, I don't know how old he is now, but at the time he was like 19,
yeah. I
because
have
he
heard of him, to be
missed,
fair.
yeah, he missed the penalty that would have. I'm not sure if no, I don't think it would have won, but it would have like tied the
Yeah,
pens
yeah,
because like Italy were up one or something. I don't
yeah,
know, but he missed the pen because he was taking the final pen, which is like a lot of pressure on like a 19
well,
year
yeah.
old in the
It is a lot
first
of
place.
pressure. Yeah,
But he missed that, and so I think that like emotions were high. I know
yeah,
like that sounds like I'm defending it. Like I'm not defending it, but I think he missed that penalty, and so people just immediately they didn't blame kind of other players that missed penalties earlier on in the game,
yeah.
but because they immediately noticed him missing it at the end of the
Mm.
game, that's like the first person to blame.
Yeah, I
You,
feel.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's sort of it's. It sounds very obvious, but people should
Yeah.
like. He's missed it. Okay, so
Okay.
he's still
Yeah. He's
19 years old
19,
and he's playing in the World Cup final for England.
taking the deciding penalty.
Exactly, like that. The like bottom line is pretty incredible. He's there to start with.
Yeah,
Like
like I'd like to see the person who's like making that comment
exactly.
try and make that penalty
It's
again, especially against Donnarumma, who's like one of the best goalkeepers in the world.
yeah. It's gonna be some like random man just sitting in the living room, like just I don't
Yeah,
even know,
like
but
50-year-old Gary
yeah.
from like Nottingham or whatever.
But people that are just in like, well, it's just for that example, like the football lifestyle. They like need someone to blame for something going wrong.
Yeah,
I feel like when yeah, well, all these players that are very young, probably still impressionable because of their age, they're gonna see all this, and it's gonna have like there's loads of stories with like famous people committing suicide or just regular people
yeah,
committing
yeah.
suicide because of stuff that's
Especially
happened
young
online.
people.
Exactly. So yeah, I don't either feel like on a like regular basis it's regulated by these companies. Like
Yeah, but I think at the same time, like, how even do you regulate it?
that's true.
You
Well, yeah,
know?
because they obviously have like language blockers. Like if you tweet something
Yeah, yeah,
racist, it'll flag up. But it's not about like there's always ways around it, almost sort of thing.
yeah. Because I
Like
think it's difficult to ban individual words as well,
yeah,
because
the
like they could
context
be
of them
taken
as
out of
well.
context, and yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
That's the thing is the context, and because there's so many different ways you could word
Yeah,
like a
exactly.
racist statement or something, so
And to say
it's difficult.
someone's like tweeting something that someone said to them on the street, like they're quoting about it, like
Yeah,
talking
100%.
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Then at the same time, if social media companies even do even do like ban these words from being saying,
yeah,
you're gonna get all these people saying like, "Oh, freedom of speech,"
exactly. Yeah.
you know, all this stuff. Like you should be able to say what you want to say and stuff like that.
So
Yeah,
it comes up in the news all the time though. It is literally impossible to regulate, sort of
mm.
thing, because you can't have someone go through every single tweet posted on
That
Twitter
would just take.
before it gets posted to the
Yeah,
public to read,
like how
and
long would
then
it take to post a tweet?
like seconds, and then you want it there for all your like followers to read.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It is a very
No, it's in
like
how long would it take to tweet something? If it was before it was tweeted, for someone to like come along and read it and then
well
check that
exactly
it's
yeah
okay.
exactly.
Yeah.
And then if it's long or like they need to like read the whole thing to actually get the context rather than just flag the words.
Or if it's like a thread.
And I feel also the thing is with the same idea, if you're posting it to like a private group thing,
Yeah.
I don't know, that's a bad
Like a
example.
private account or
Yeah, well only people you
or like
know are going to
yeah,
read it.
or what like a close friend story or something like that.
Well maybe exactly, yeah, something like that. You don't want
Uh-huh.
firstly you don't want people reading it in case it's like a private
A
thing.
personal issue, yeah.
But then at the same time it could still be them like taking a racist like dig at someone or saying something inappropriate or something like that.
Yeah,
So it is literally impossible to regulate
yeah.
fully.
I think there's so many issues that arise with social media that
There
beg the
are a lot of
question, kind of
issues.
like, is it a positive or negative for society overall?
Yeah,
And like,
I think
what do you think then? Do you think that it's kind of a
whether it's positive or
over
negative.
just in its in entirety? Overall, do you think it's had more benefit? Do you think that the positives have outweighed the negatives, or the other way around?
I mean, I think both of us have grown up with social media.
Hmm.
Like, I think I think it could be quite interesting to ask someone that's seen
A
what it was
world
like
without it.
before
Yeah.
and then what it's like now. But then at the same time, well, this person will have to be like born and like lived some time to get it. Let's just say that if they had to be 20 before like 1980,
Yeah,
so they're going to be like,
and even then, you've got like kind of nostalgia that comes into play
yeah,
in
exactly.
terms of how they perceive their childhood.
And then
Yeah,
so if we're asking them, they're not going to have the same modern youth opinions
yeah,
as us. So I think it's very much in the middle as it's positive or negative.
hmm
It has this very positive like aspects of you can talk to your like friends when you're not with them. Like
or family from like halfway across the
exactly,
world or
exactly,
something like
exactly.
that. Yeah,
Like that is just crazy that you can just 2 clicks on your phone, you're talking to someone. Just you're sat in like London, 2 clicks on your
yeah,
phone, and you're talking to someone in Sydney.
that's
Like
crazy.
just the idea of that is just
And
pretty
you can
crazy.
like see their face,
Yeah,
they're right in front of you.
very very taken for granted.
Mm.
But it's just yeah no. So I think it definitely has its positives, and it's definitely got its grey areas. I think.
Yeah,
So is that a positive? But then it also has negative like effects, and then
hmm
also it definitely has its negatives.
yeah,
But it's not going to change anytime soon.
no,
There might be
whatever.
minor changes like they sort out like the thing we spoke about like racist comments or whatever.
Yeah,
But then like it's not gonna drastically change.
no.
No. But then what would we do without it now?
Yeah, it's such a radical change to just kind of,
Yeah,
if you were to rid the world of social media as a whole,
yeah, but
like you can't do that. Yeah.
it is a weird concept because if it never happened in the first place, like it would just appear normal. Like social media, the idea of social media just like seems normal now.
Mhm.
So I don't
Yeah.
really know. I don't really know where I'm going with this, but yeah. So
Yeah. We've waffled quite a bit, I think.
we have done quite a lot of waffling. I think we
Yeah,
spoke
this
about
podcast
everything.
has been very waffled.
It has
So,
been very waffly, but you know, I think
yeah.
we have discussed everything.
Oh wow.
So there we go.
Wow.
Are you happy, Luca? Are you happy?
I am. I feel like this podcast was really waffly though.
It has been a very waffly podcast, to be honest. I also feel
It's
like that.
been very waffly. It's been kind of like, yeah. It's not been as concise. I feel like the last one was concise.
It was very
Like
concise.
much
No,
more
but the
concise.
thing with social media, it's such a vast topic.
It
Like,
is, yeah.
we literally have only scratched the surface.
Yeah.
We could have gone on for hours and hours and hours about
Yeah.
like specific examples and all these different areas of.
Yeah, I feel like we should have done like a specific area, and then you could do different areas in an
Yeah.
episode form, so you could
But,
have like a more of a series.
well, yeah, it's fine. You know, there might be part two coming soon.
We could do a part two.
We could do a part two. Well, thank you very much for watching. Thank you for coming along, Luca. Of course, again,
Thank you.
I've dragged you
Thank
into
you
it
for
again.
having me.
If you're watching on
Again,
YouTube,
it's
don't
alright.
forget to like, subscribe, share to all your friends on social media. You know,
On social media,
there we go. Look at that.
Kind of contradicting ourselves.
Because,
but
like you said, at the end of the day, it is an advertisement platform.
it is.
It is. Well, there we go. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you, Luca.
Thank you.
And
Thank you for
see
having me.
next.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. And I'll see you maybe with Luca, maybe not, very soon.